Hello, my name is Shawn Lazarz, and I'm the president of Kansas City Brick Lab. And this is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. We started off with a nice mosaic to introduce to the scene, and when we go down right to the classic Eddie Valent's pistols with the Dum Dum bullets, really great scene, really brings you back right away if you remember the movie. And then we go right into the Ink and Paint Club with the music playing of the Dueling Ducks. So you actually have a custom minifig, Daffy Duck, because you know Lego doesn't make Daffy Duck. So, but they do make Donald. So you got a really great scene right there of the two of them battling it out, getting that showboating love for the movie.
Yeah, and it looks there's a lot of really cool lighting incorporating this build. How do you know how that's done? Like every table has a light up in there?
Yes, actually, he actually lined up every single. He had a drill hole, but there's wiring done through the tables itself, and then in the back there's actually a Bluetooth speaker. So that way we can get the song inside of the music. We also did water slide artwork so that you could get your Jessica Rabbit inside the windows. Now, also with the whole theme of maroon cartoons, we thought the era of maroon cartoons was like a Universal Studios. So there'd be more than one movie in there. So what we did is we went ahead and had them build movies from the era. Who Framed Roger Rabbit was late 1940s. So when we go to the next area, you're going to see that we have an actual Looney Tunes studio, which came out in 1949. So it's the era of the movie. So we go right into that, and the designer of this thought, Wile E. Coyote, Roadrunner, came out with great to say, and it's a movie scene being shot. So it was really great aspect right there. And we go into the next scene, and it's that opening scene from the movie. Now, unfortunately, Roger Rabbit didn't make it here, so we have been invited since displaying this to 2 additional shows. So we'll be in Kansas City at Brickfest Live, and Roger Rabbit will be making it for that display. Once we go on to the next display area, 1947, Mickey and the Beanstalk. So again, right with that era, and keeping it going. So we go right into the whole maroon cartoons, having the downtown studio, so you have your entire area of the studio. That takes us right down to downtown. What kind of iconic presence is Cloverleaf taking over the Pacific Electric building? So we got everything from the mock streetcars inside the Pacific Electric. And then you'll notice here with the streetcar, we've actually got it censored so that it stops, goes, reverse. So really great job. We actually recruited a member that used to be in our club from Texas, Gareth Ellis, did an amazing job with both the train station as well as the car. Just a beautiful job. We had the buildings downtown done from a lot of members who couldn't be here. We just said aim for 1940s, do buildings, do shops. So really nice job. All individual mocks, none of them are sets. And we even got the detective office, which is the brown and beige building here on the left. So Eddie Valent's detective's office. Great environment. And then we took it above and we went, what kind of cars were there? Model T cars, 1940s. And then you look here in the front, we got the classic Toon Patrol car with an actual weasel inside driving it. So, and then it takes us right over to the classic Roger Rabbit and Eddie Valent inside Benny the taxi cab. So great scene. Everybody remembers it. And it just really focuses on to bringing you back to that memory. We got a little Yosemite Sam minifig inside the alleyway with his little pistols blaring. My britches are burning from the movie. So right in the alley where he gets popped out from Toontown. So then it takes us over to Acme Studios. Now we have a member, Terry Acuna, amazing print work. If you actually notice, all this work inside is printed tile. So it's acrylic right on the brick. So the marble, the wood line, everything is all printed on there. So really great work. He's actually becoming really well known in the Lego industry. And then it takes us right to the tunnel that's going to lead to Toontown. So we go in, and you see you got your quilted layout, you got your song playing, you got your singing, you got Eddie Valent and his cab coming in, I mean, it's just so great, like remembering the movie and going from there. And that leads us to finally heading over to Toontown itself. And everybody remembers Toontown because most people who've gone to Disneyland know that Disneyland replicated Toontown, and they have it all down their main street. So a lot of the people here coming here that haven't seen the movie have been to Disneyland, and they remember Toontown from at least that aspect. So we wanted to make sure that we did have the crash scene on the corner with the piano, the safe, and all the cars that were wrecked. And there was some iconic buildings that are staring at the crash. And that pretty much closes up our area of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and it goes right into the fact that we have some really great iconic mocks. We have in our club a really wide range of people, from Jeremiah Bowler, former Legoland master builder. So we really do have some great builders here. We actually have an additional builder who has his own area, a couple tables back, Alan T. Hickman, and he's been nominated for some great awards this event. So
yeah, this whole collaboration is just awesome, and I love how you were able to get so many good builders together and focus on this cool build from the movie. If you can talk about this scene with the quilts a little more, because there's so much going on here. Definitely. So talk about the quilts and then also the trees and kind of how that came together.
All right, so our ambassador, Sean Kelly, he has always been really great at building trees. So if you look at the trees behind, those are all his trees as well. He's just an amazing tree builder. So he had to challenge himself, and so there's a couple of the brick built ones that are by Stuart Collar in our group, but like the bigger, more detailed ones are Sean Kelly. So we had to figure how can we challenge him to do the singing trees. So I said, you know what, we need a tree that plays a guitar. So he's been working on it for 6 months, and he finally figured it out. You got the eyes moving, you got the mouth moving, you've got the banjo playing, and you got the hair moving as well. So he really challenged himself. It's taken quite a few designs. So he posted first just the eyes moving. Then he posted, I figured out how to get the mouth moving. And then he's like, I got this added. He's got the arms moving. And we even was able to get the hair moving. So it's really great. It's on a basic motor, but it's extremely difficult design on the inside. As for the quilted, like I said, once we posted that, we had multiple builders, including Stuart Cowler, our current treasurer of our lug, and we had a couple other people that were like, you know what, we can get really creative here. We can go a 8x8 area and just build up to 3 bricks and be completely random. Get quilts, think blankets, think randomness, that do colors that don't normally go together, and they're going to become your new favorite combinations. We also had, like as I mentioned earlier, Terry Acuna printed the little faces on the flowers. So all the little flowers have face prints on them.
Oh, wow. I didn't notice that. That's really cool.
Yeah. So that's also from the movie. And then we looked at the movie, all the little animals when you first come in that are singing and dancing. So, yeah, it really is. It came together really well, and I'm really honored to have been nominated, that our group has been nominated for Best Group Layout. And I really hope that Sean Kelly takes something home with the best mechanical here on these trees, because they are something else.
They really are. So you've got so many, how many total builders were involved with this?
We had 18 builders.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a lot of builders. As you guys were working on this in the months leading up to the show, would you do like Skype talks, or how did you kind of keep the collaboration going?
We actually didn't do any kind of Skype talks at all. So as I said, being the president, I've been able to see where their strengths are. So I had total trust in what they were doing. I just asked that they post their build and that they stay within the parameters that I assigned. So I did on Blue Brick, the design. So I had certain assignments, and if somebody didn't stay in that assignment, then they had to rebuild their build. So I was like, with the downtown buildings and the Toontown buildings, I said you need to have it a 16 by 16 or a 32 by 16, because it needs to be able to fit everything else behind it, and you can't go outside those parameters. You can have just a face front wall if you want, but it needs to be a 16 by 16. You also need to have an area for a sidewalk, and you have to raise it up 1 brick. So keeping those guidelines, your builder can be very creative, but they have to stick to the actual guidelines. With the warehouse here, I was like, listen, it's going to be 3 by 2, 32 by 32 base plates, but I'm going to let you be completely free. There was some frustration. This had been rebuilt 3 times. So because the first time he built it, he had the wall blown out behind it. But in the movie, you can see the train going by. So you wanted to make sure you stay acute to the actual movie itself. Also, you wanted to make sure that it was like a diorama so people could see into the warehouse. So understanding that can frustrate a builder where they're like, well, that makes no sense because that's the front is over here, and you're telling me you want an open hole on the left side and a blown out wall on the back side. It was like, yes, we gotta play to the inspiration of the movie, but we're accommodating for the people actually looking at it. So there was a couple of frustrating moments, but that you have this many amazing builders and they're so talented that they can listen to that direction and really just be freedom in their design. So it really comes down to just having a really good group who knows what they're doing and can take direction, but also be extremely creative on their individual aspect. We actually did not put it together beforehand. It was legitly came here, had faith in my builders that they would do what I asked them to do and stay in the parameters. And there was only minor changes. We didn't have to do much of it all, to be honest with you. And we do a lot of pre-build because we have been planning this since December going into January. So having that much time to plan it, and then just we kept it very hush-hush. We created a private Facebook group, and I asked for them to post pictures as they were coming along. Literally had about 5 builders last minute within the last 2 weeks come up with their builds or finish their builds, whereas some people have been done. I mean, the maroon cartoons have been done since March. The trees, they just finished up 2 weeks ago. All the Toontown buildings have been done for about a month and a half. The downtown buildings they were the first thing to get done. They finished about 3 months ago. So we do have a lot of builders that, they were like, they had that vision, they had the direction, and they just went with it. They finished it. Because as a lug, we actually do about 15 events a year. We had an event 2 weeks ago, Conquest Kansas City. It's a big sci-fi convention. We did a show where we did a big sci-fi show / a scene from the movie Army of Darkness. So we had a bunch of iconic pieces from that movie. Next weekend, we're doing in Kansas City a thing called Maker's Fair, and we're doing about 20 Great Ball contraptions. So we're very widely ranged group where we do everything from trains, city, space, pirates. I'm actually the castle builder of the group, but because I project manage this, I took a step back and stayed away from the castles this time around. So,
well, there you go. I think the whole collaborative turned out so great. My favorite thing coming to shows like Brickworld is seeing what builders can do when they team up together, and I think this turned out great. So I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me about it.
I really appreciate you guys coming out and checking us out.